So a lot of things have happened this past week and especially yesterday, Friday, and I want to go over a couple of things and just give you guys an update and some things as we move forward. Now, as you guys know, this whole last month has very much been about Iran, the Middle East, as well as just some of the global sort of power dynamics. And so I want to start with this quick post by Clandestine, where he says, whatever Trump's master plan is, it revolves around global trade. He is securing global maritime shipping routes, especially strategic choke points, Panama Canal, Strait of Hormuz, Arctic shipping routes, Greenland, Canada included. Combine that with tariffs. It's all about trade. And what has happened since Friday has been very much a up and down, especially from the market's perspective. And so let's go over some of the stuff that he said, that he's indicated. And here I'm just showing a quick chart of just the rockiness of what has happened, especially ever since CBS reported that Trump was considering having boots on the ground at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Friday afternoon. And about 3:40-ish p.m. in the afternoon, about an hour afterwards, he was gaggling here with the press. And one of the things that somebody had asked him was that people, especially the Pope, is calling for a ceasefire. And he says that, quote, well, look, we can have a dialogue, but I don't want to do a ceasefire. You don't do a ceasefire when you're obliterating the other side. And I won't play the whole clip here, but he also mentioned that the Strait of Hormuz opening it is a simple military maneuver, a very simple maneuver, he says. And so he's talking about and inferring that it's going to open very soon, and that Iran's military, their navy, everything, he's mentioned this several times, all of it is gone, and that their top leadership, they're all gone. And so they're winning, or they've already won in some sense, as he's projecting. This is all being communicated to the front-facing optics of the media and the world. And then about 90 minutes later, an hour and a half later, he makes this truth post. He says, we are getting very close to meeting our objective as we consider winding down our great military efforts in the Middle East with respect to the terrorist regime of Iran. And again, he mentions here all of the successes and the things that has been done, and also protecting, and there's number 5 at the level, and here there's the first 4 here, but at number 5, protecting at the highest level our Middle Eastern allies, including Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, and others. And Clandestine here, again, from a different post, makes some commentary on what has happened since his post. He says that, quote, all the messaging from yesterday and today seems to indicate that the operation in Iran is coming to a close. Trump's objectives have been accomplished. And if Trump is telling us that they are considering winding down, the decision has already been made. Now Trump is shifting his focus to getting other nations in the region like China, Japan, India, and I'd bet on Saudi Arabia as well to secure the Strait of Hormuz going forward so we can lower our military footprint in the region, and by we, meaning the U.S. and the military, and usher in a new era of peace. Knowing how Trump operates, I'd wager these agreements were already in place long before the kinetic operation in Iran began. From a 40,000-foot view, it appears Trump is consolidating spheres of influence. He is setting the stage for new players in the Middle East/Asia to take control/responsibility of their own region, while we, the U.S., simultaneously lower their footprint in our region in places like Panama, Venezuela, and Cuba. And by their footprint, meaning the other nations like China and the Middle East, such that there would be, in some sense, localized, and I'm not reading his quote anymore, but localized areas of that global sort of dynamic. So if you're in the Middle East, you protect that area. You don't have to have the U.S. being there as much, and vice versa with the America, South America, North America, and things like that. And again, what's interesting to me is that what is being played out in the global sort of optics in front of people sort of view is one thing, but behind the scenes, whatever agreements, whatever in some sense people may deem as conspiracy is happening, is probably happening to some degree. And one of the biggest things that I've talked about and many others is that there are power vacuums happening because of the takedown of this order, global order, deep state, or whatever you want to call it, and that a lot of Trump and the White Hat's objectives have been to dismantle that control that a lot of countries have had their sort of stronghold in, and in releasing that freedom for that country in exchange for other things. And part of that, like in the first post, Clandestine mentioned, is about global trade and how people are going to have their autonomy, their freedoms back. And a lot of this is part of the process. And as Trump and the White Hats and these guys from now 10 years ago, 2016 and beyond, when that happened, they had already lost in a sense. And of course, there's still a war. There's a real kinetic war going on. But a lot of that, in some sense, is being played out. Agreements have been made, and we're seeing some of that. And so I'm saying all this because today, or rather yesterday and this past week, have been very eventful. More is coming. But I believe that however long this takes, there's going to be more things, yes, that have to happen, cleanup and other operations. But for the most part, we're seeing a lot of the successes and some of the work already being done. So again, more to come, guys. I know the markets, a lot of different things have been up and down. A lot of people are uncertain about even gas, and especially if you're in certain countries. I know there's a lot of countries right now that are rationing gas. They're telling like certain days that they have to shut off the pumps coming into the office and things like that. I think Sri Lanka, many others are going through some of these things right now. But again, to allow safety, allow the U.S. to not invest so much into protecting and doing maybe the other nations' work that they should really be doing. And we've seen that with NATO and the UN and these guys that were refusing to help and to protect, but now they've changed tones and they have said we will help or assist in some way militarily. It's not just the U.S. and the military doing all the work, but rather Trump, the White Hats, these guys are shifting powers. They're allowing other people to step up, to pull their weight and allow some kind of bigger balance to happen that's not so reliant on the U.S. So again, more things to come, guys. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know. And again, if you guys want to help me out, my link is down below, givesendgo.com/chrisyoonyt. If you guys want to support me and my mission and a lot of things that I'm doing behind the scenes, would love it. Would love the support. And thank you guys for all the prayers. More to come. Talk to you guys very soon.